And you win 7 straight, you win 7 straight. And in the case of Addison and Justin Jefferson, you know how elite those weapons can be. And then you got Brian Flores leading that defense. So nobody can look at them and summarily dismiss. This is a team that you don't have to reckon with. The question for me has always been Sam Darnold. Am I to believe in this dude? But then now something has happened. We got to look at Kevin O'Connell. When you look at the coaching job that he does, when you look at how effective he is with quarterbacks, then you're saying, okay, maybe this isn't a fluke.
Yep.
Maybe Sam Darnold has truly elevated his level of play and he's here to stay because he's got that coach working beside him, Shannon. You would know that better than me, but that's my attitude. Looking at a head coach, recognizing the kind of impact he has, looking at places like Chicago and other places where you don't have that in terms of that individual to work with the quarterback or what have you. In the case of Chicago, you compromise it, which is, we'll get into that later. The fact that you got a coach like O'Connell coaching Sam Darnold right now, Sam Darnold looks like a completely individual. So it comes down to this. Do you believe this is something that's sustainable? That answer will be provided in the postseason. I got to see it to believe it, but I have no reason to deny what we've been seeing thus far.
Prior to Detroit having all these injuries, we'd say, nah, they're not serious at all. Now, do we believe they could go to Philly and overtake Philly? I do not. I think Philly is the best team in the NFC. I think they're the best team in the NFL. But when you look at that division, just that division alone, you have 2 teams at 12-2, and you have the Green Bay Packers at 10-4. That look really good. You mentioned the weapons that they have. They have a JJ. They have an Addison. They have a Hawkinson. They have an Aaron Jones that can run the football. The offensive line is good, not great.
Right.
Defensively, they're really good. They're a pressure defense. Brian Flores does a great job of attacking your quarterback. And the question, Stephen A., you're absolutely right. Do we believe that this is the Sam Darnold that we're seeing? He can take that into the postseason and be as calm as he's been throughout the regular season. Now, this seems to be an aberration, but I will concede this. He does have better weapons than what he had at the Jets and at Carolina. He has Kevin O'Connell, who does a great job of putting him in the right situation. He does a great job of scheming and attacking what you do defensively. And so, yes, I think you would have to. I think you say Detroit, even though they have injuries. I like the Eagles. I think Minnesota, honestly, Stephen A., now with the injuries that Detroit has, I think Minnesota and Green Bay could easily overtake Detroit. It's just hard. Montgomery's on IR. You lost Carlton Davis. You lost McNeil. You had 13 guys on IR before Sunday.
That's right.
And now you got 2 or 3. Yes, now you got 2 or 3 more. Yes, I think Green Bay and Minnesota has overtaken Detroit.
Which of those quarterbacks do you believe in more, though?
Jordan Love.
Okay.
So do I. That would be my answer. But I will say this. We've got the 17 cats on IR for the Detroit Lions. Well, they close out the season against the Vikings.
Right.
If we want to find out about Sam Darnold, it's before the playoffs. That regular season finale may very well ensure home field advantage in Minnesota. With that game on the line, with it being of that importance, if he shows up in a game like that and produces, then we definitely have to look at him differently.
I know you say you have to wait for the playoffs, but what about for this? Do you feel like he should be their future franchise quarterback? Obviously, we know they drafted one.
I think so because of Kevin O'Connell. Because of him. I'm not saying it because of Sam Darnold. Please don't get me wrong. Let's not misconstrue. It's not him. The resume ain't thick enough, all right? Ain't valid enough for me to look at him. But if we look at a guy and we say that guy has that kind of impact on that quarterback, then we have to take that into consideration. We didn't know anything about Brock Purdy. We understand when we've seen Brock Purdy, you will lament, right? You're like, listen, this is no Joe Burrow. This is no Patrick Mahomes or somebody. But damn it, he was in that Super Bowl. Wasn't looking too bad either. Why? Because Kyle Shanahan was his coach. So if the coach has that kind of impact on a quarterback, and that's what we're crediting O'Connell to, he's not going anywhere. If he's not going anywhere and he believes in Sam Darnold, why shouldn't we?
I think that